Good morning everyone, this is Michelle, this is Shelby Creations. Last video we left off, we had our cover made. Just basic cover, nothing matted, nothing done, just blank canvas. Well, today we're going to take our blank canvas and add a bit more. What I've done so far to the other one is I've added a front mat. I've added the spine and the back, and then on the inside I have the inside front cover, inside back cover done, along with some of our pages added. Now the page system I'm using today is Stack the Pages. It's originally brought out by Laura Dennison, and it is so simple. It's very easy. Once you learn it, you'll see how easy it is. And I've even added a few of the inside pages, mainly because some things I like to have in place as I go, and others I like to add along the way. My first one, I've got a simple flip out, which is the same size as the page. There's nothing on these two, and this, if you notice here, was another boo-boo that seemed like last video was Murphy's Law was happening. If something could go wrong, it did. If I could mess up, I did. This one has a simple little flip out. The back one has a down flip. And those are the ones I knew I wanted in here. And I wanted to put them in before I matted the actual page, because these are all hinged in. So, back to my blooper. I scored it in the wrong place, and many of us have done this, but in order to work around a score like this that you've done, the easiest way to do it is to come back in, and this is just a piece of chipboard I have. Put something stiff underneath it and go over that score line to sort of mash it flat again. I'm going to do both sides. And it's not going to totally flatten it back out to the original way, but it's going to get that bump out of there, which is what we want. Now when we go back and we mat the page, the mat will cover that and will help hold it in place so that we don't see it, especially if you haven't inked it. So we've got that far. Then I added an eyelet on the back with a piece of dyed seam binding that I put a clip on to hold it for closure. And you see there's a lot of play. We haven't got to where we can actually set the width yet, so I'm not worried about it. I've attached a bulb pin and a little dangle. Got a really nice little pink one. And you can get these anywhere. Just go on and Google bulb pin, and it will go to your shopping up at the top, and it'll show you everywhere you can get them. You can get them, order them from Walmart, Etsy, eBay, Wish, Michaels. There's so many places where you can get these from. And I've found these, the colored ones, on, I think I got mine from Wish. And I wanted something a little different. So when I ordered them, they came in this nice little case like this. And when I open it up, look at all those beautiful colors. So I'm going to have bulb pins practically ever. And I left the bubble wrap on the inside there, because if you've ever had these type of cases where the parts are not, even whether movable or not, at some point in time the top's not going to seal quite well, so they're going to get mixed up and all, and I wouldn't mind to stay like that. So I left the bubble wrap in to help make sure that they don't go anywhere. Now charms, if you want to add a dangle to them, you can add beads, you can add charms, you can add what I did there with a bird with some flowers. I got that off of a bracelet. I had bought at I don't know whether it was at a store on clearance or out of a charity shop or whatever. But this is where I keep what I use on my little bow pins. And yeah, it's, if I'm in a store and they've got, let's say, these little things on clearance. These are keys. There's some little keys. There's frogs. There's, yeah, these here I took off of bracelets, little dangles. You simply dismantle them and you've got, you know, tons of things you can use as dangles. I keep those stashed away in there. Believe me, there is more. It's just, right now, they're in the storage closet. Which is where they probably need to stay. Because I have way too much stuff up here on my desk as it is. Anyway, what I have done so far, let me find, what did I do with it? There it is. We have this one here that we still have to do. Because remember, I'm doing 2 at a time. And what I have done, if I can find where I put everything, I have my pages cut for the inside, which I'll set those aside because we're not going to work with those yet. But I picked out my cover and my spine, inside back, inside front, and then on the outside, I was going to use this on the back. Which way do we want that? Try that way front. It's a piece of blank. Then I have this for the front. Or do I want it to go this way? I think I like that way better. So what we have to do now is make sure we put our tape. I have these already taped. The last thing I needed you to do is sit here and watch me tape and ink the edges. This one's already inked, but I haven't put the tape on it yet. It'll take me just a moment. Let me see, where did I put? There it is. Pull out Jack. And run my tape down. Rip that part off. One thing I found easy, when I put on tape, I'll put my finger, on the spot where I want to start. Let me move some of these out of the way. Pull it a little snug and then press it down where I want it to end, and it goes right in where we need it. If not, I'm constantly putting tape everywhere. And then it doesn't stick where you want it, and this way I find out it stays pretty well. Top, bottom, but smooth it down a bit and take it off. Very simple. And that's taped. So we're going to bring our cover back over here, making sure I have, let's see, those are inside, outside, outside. Okay, I'm going to start with the spine, because that's going to be my guideline as to where my front and back go. If I get my tape off of here, I probably should use my pokey tool, but this is a little bit easier. It has been so damp here that it's got everybody with a little tickle in their throat. Okay, so I wanted to go this way. I'm going to center this one on. Oh, center as best as I can. Down it goes. Grab my little card and smooth it out. Very simple. Spine's done. No bumps from glue. Now for my front. My front's going to sit about that far away around, but I put my spine on so I know where to make sure that I have that bottom edge. And if I bend it just slightly, it comes up. I don't have to worry about the rest of it. Okay, now comes glue, 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 glue. Alright, which way did I say? This way. Now, hopefully I won't get my head in the way. I can get this side straight and that side straight, and down it goes. Very simple. Smooth it out so I got no ridges from glue. And the back. And this part goes really smoothly. I know when I was making albums for one of the medieval fairs, I was doing like, I did how many? About 20 or 30. And doing the covers, I got into a sort of like assembly line fashion. Oops, I don't want that far. I want it. And the good thing with the glue is I'm putting the center of the page down first, so that glue gives me some time. I don't have it quite right. I can reposition it. Yep, nice and smooth all the way across. That's going to be gorgeous. Look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. I forgot. I need something real quick. Oh, here we go. I need to see if I can get that edge lifted back up. Because I forgot to put seam binding under there. Okay. I got that up, and I'm just going to prop that up a little bit. Because I need a piece of seam binding to go under there and hold it into place. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac, clean off that spout there. And while I've got it lifted up here, I don't know why I am having so much trouble. Where's my napkin? Because I know there's too much in there. Wipe the excess off. I'm going to take my seam binding and put it down in the hole that I just created, just like that. And that glue will hold it. Ta-da! Yes, we saved it. Good. I don't know what is wrong with me with this one. I'm scatterbrained, I reckon. Blot off the rest of that excess glue there. I didn't put but just a little bit in there, just enough to hold that lace. Whew. That was close. I've got glue on my paper towel and glue on my fingers. Okay, back seam binding in. That works. So that will be the back of our closure. And now we'll have the clip for our front closure. And I was wondering, we're going to need a bow pin. And I think because the front is mainly a green, that we'll go with a green one. That works. And I have my little clip here. Thread this through, making sure I have the right end here. And it's going to go in the back hole. Just pull that through a little bit. I know this is a lot of lace on here, but right now I'm not worried about it. We'll shorten it, when we get to that part. Now, what we need to find is a charm to go with our roses here. And let's see, what would look good? Ooh, we could do a dragonfly on there. I have dragonfly right there. Alright, come on. Lock in place. Lock in place. This was made out of beads and a little set of wings that I think I picked these up at Michael's. And if your Michael's doesn't have them, there's a place online, and you can they'll even send you a catalog, which a lot of places don't do anymore, called Fire Mountain Gems. They have everything bead related. And that down, and see how cute that is? We'll put that on there. Open it up, and that will hang just like that. Very cute. Now, we have our inside to mess with. We're going to do the same thing with our inside covers. Now later on we may put, we could put a pocket on the inside covers. We could put a die cut, any type of ephemera you want, or you could just leave it blank. Or you can get the little, some of the die cuts or figures that say, this book belongs to, outside doesn't want to come up. I'm going to have to end up bringing out my pokey tool, you watch. It's going to be one of those days. I know it. And yeah, this is the front, making sure before I glue it down. And then by putting on our ribbon now, I'll always know which is the back of my book. Now, we don't have the spine part here, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Line up top to bottom, and then the page, and then squish everything down. And next one. What I think I'm going to have to do is to readjust my tripod so I can get all of my spacers I'm working on in the camera frame. Because for some reason, it just seems to be lower. And I haven't touched the tripod at all. But it's the way things go. Okay. Glue. Get it, see which way. Yeah, this way. And down. Just that simple. That part's done. Quick, easy. Now we'll come back after we get the inside done and we'll decorate the cover. We may do more with the spine and back. Not sure yet. But we have plenty of time. I don't know why I'm putting that on. Because now we got to do the inside pages. And I went ahead and cut these. So, the top page is the 6 3/4. This is 10 inches. And this one is just shy of 11 inches. It's like an 1/8 shy of 11 inches. So that would be 10 7/8. I went ahead and scored them. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Cap my glue before it dries. So that now all I have to do is get these down. Where's my bone folder? I did manage to find my larger bone folder. But things get lost on my desk. And they can be lost for a long time. Do that side. Set that one there. come in with the other one. And do that one that way. And this one comes over here. And voila. There are our pages. Now, I'm going to come in here. I'm using walnut stain to ink these with. And I'm going to ink the side that I know is going to show. Not worried about the underside because it's not going to show. And then on the inside, come back here, fold these, and run my ink right in the middle there. And when we put it all together, you'll see why. This is a step that I like to do. Alright, now for the other one, just the outside edge. Not worried about the base part. That's the part that's going to be glued down. So come through here, do that, and we're going to flip over. Just run that along the line there. Do the other side. And that's done. Put that over there. Now, to put these two together, what I'm going to do here is, where's my tape? I'm going to run a single line of tape right down the middle. From there to there. And trim that off. That tape's done. This one here, I'm going to do differently. I'm going to run tape down this side, trim that off, and tape down this side on both outside edges, because this is a bit wider. And then I'm going to come right here in the middle, because in between each line of tape, I'm going to put glue. As I have found that there are times the tape does pop up. Yeah, I've had to repair a spine before because of that. Burnish that down. Now, to get these even, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I want to line these up with the middle here. What I'm trying to do is set it on the grid on my mat, equal distance, and then that down there, and then bring my pencil up. I'm going to mark here. I'm going to mark here. I'm not worried because you're not going to see these when you're done, so it won't matter. And then come in here, line that up between those two marks, and mark here and here. That will set that one. Now, come here, remove my tape. Don't give me a hard time today. Thank you. And my little fine glue applicator. And I'm going to run a bead of glue down each side of that tape. There goes one. Here goes two. Yep, I can't run a straight line of glue and I can't cut a straight line. That figures. Well, I did the marks on the wrong side. Oh well, let's do it this way then. Set those two. Yeah, I better do it this way. So I remember where my marks are up here. That there, that there. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Those two there, top and bottom. Now, come here, and I'm going to set those on that line, these on this line, and we're off just a touch, but when you close the book you can't tell. Burnish that down a little bit so that now when I open one side, I've already got that inked edge. On this side there's the inked edge, and you'll notice there's almost like equal distance in each one. When you're adding flips and tags and fold outs and anything else, waterfalls, that adds bulk, and this will help alleviate some of the bulk, plus it will give you a nice, you won't end up with such of a gator mouth, which is always good. Now, to put this in our book, like I said, this method is so simple. To lift this up, make sure I know where I'm coming in at, and I can align that right with my cover. Make sure I'm even. Make sure I'm in the center. Let me see here. Trying to find some center marks here. And let me see. That. Okay. So, got that part done. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put a mark here, this time on the inside, not on the outside, and another mark here, and these I can come back and erase if they show, which if they do, oh well. Now, remove our tape. There goes one. Up, come on. Two, and there is three. Run my glue all down there. I have had spines come out of my albums before when they were just merely taped down. So that's why I do the double. Find that one, find that one. Right, now press down. Press down there, come down the middle. And I'll come up here and just erase marks. I have to get my other eraser. But there we go. It was just that simple. It may take, your first time you do it, it may take a little bit. But it's worth it. It's worth learning and doing, because it gives you, and once you learn how to do this, you'll find out it is so simple and easy to do. And there we have the second one. Now I have done up some of the pages that I wanted to add similar to the other book. I have this one cut and scored for a flip. That one for a large pocket, and I've already taped that one. There's another pocket, a flip, and a corner tuck, which I really want to do a corner tuck on this one. I just don't know where I'm going to put them yet. But I don't want a square edge on my corner tuck. So what I want to do is, I want to round that edge. Go ahead and fold those over. But I don't want a normal round, you know, it's nothing that, I don't want to do something with this. It needs to be just a bit bigger. What have we got here? Oh, we can use this. my painter's tape. And I can come in here and just set it alongside, top and bottom, draw my line, voila! I've got a circle. Well, not a circle, but a curved edge. Let me see if I can cut this out right. Some people say, move your paper. Others say, move your scissors. I do a little of both. Cut right on top of that line, and there we go. So that when it goes in my book, now I can use it either this way, go on this page, or I can go with this page. And I've got the tabs here because when I get the map for the page done, I want these sides to fit up underneath the mat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this corner here because that adds bulk. Take that out, and I'm going to notch down these sides here, turn it the right way, because when it folds over I don't want any chance of that showing. And there we go. Very simple. Go ahead and pre-ink it, get that ready to go. And if you know what you want in your album, go ahead and pre-do it. Get it done. And that one's ready to go. All I have to do is add my tape. And when I figure out which page and what mat I'm going to use, it's ready for me. One thing else I'm going to need is material, seam binding for my tags. Put mine out. It's supposed to go in the bottle, not in my finger. There we go. And what I buy is, I learned this from Genevieve, is the Hug Snug seam binding. This is like, what, $10, $12 for 100 yards. And it's thin. You can dye it. I've dyed mine with water-based inks, markers, stamp pads, alcohol inks. I've even used paint, watercolor paint. Not acrylic, because acrylic leaves a funny feel to it. But watercolor paint works good with this too. Now, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need some for tags, and I don't know, I may need, let's do 2 of them. We'll do 2 different colors. This is so easy to do. Got to share this with you. I have a piece of paper that was laminated I didn't really want to laminate, so it was a mislamination, I reckon you could call it. So it's a waterproof surface. I have seam binding. I have alcohol. And where did they go? My desk is such a mess. I have these little sets of archival ink. I was online, it's either scrapbook.com or a Cherry on Top. They had them on sale. And I ordered 2 sets because mainly they had the colors I was looking for. And then I found the 3rd set in Hobby Lobby, and it had the other colors I wanted. So I've got my little tin full, and I ordered this when I ordered my last inks from Ranger. So what I need is I need to pick a couple of colors that I know are going to go with this book. I know I like violet. Violet will go with just about anything, and we'll do the pink. Pink and purple. Those are always good colors to go with. Grab me a paper towel. Right here. And a sheet of paper. This is important. I mean, not for the album, but... And then my paper towel. So what I'm going to do, we'll do some purple first. Or this is violet. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp right down here. It may seem a lot, but... And then my alcohol, mine's in a pump container. And all I'm going to do is I put my hand over, my thing over the middle. And I'm going to drop some alcohol down here. Take one of these and squish it, get it wet in the alcohol. And then take that and just run it in there, just like that. Look at that. Now, I'm not concerned if it didn't go everywhere. Squeeze that out. Crumple it up good. Squeeze it out. Squish it, squish it, squish it. Now, I'm going to take the piece of paper I had without anything else down there and just blot the rest of that ink up. Blot it all up. If it doesn't all come up, blot it somewhere else. Just like that. And then come in here with my paper towel. Just a touch of alcohol on it. And all that. That's all the color I'm wasting. Right there. That's it. Not much at all. This here, because it wasn't wet with water, it's wet with alcohol, I can simply hang that up and let it dry. Within just a few minutes, that'll be all nice and dry. Now, do the same thing. And archival inks are alcohol-based inks, which is the reason you can do this with it. I'll put a fairly good amount of that pink on there. And my ribbon. Go ahead and get it doused. Put a few drops on here. And run that all through the ink. Get it all in there. Squeeze out my excess. Squishy, squishy. Bring my paper over here. Now there may not be much. Oh yeah, it did come through a little bit of color. Mop that up with my paper. The pink doesn't show very well, but that purple certainly did. Set that aside. Touch on there. Wipe it off. Basically no pink at all came on. My surface is all nice and clean for my next go, and I have beautiful pink seam binding. I'll hang this one up to dry. I'm going to pull over the ones I did earlier and show you. I've got, and it's hard to differentiate the colors on camera, but that is a light blue. See if it helps if I smush them all together. That's the blue one. This is like a pink and lavender mix. I did that one too. And this one is the gray. And I did the same thing afterwards by blotting up my paper, my ink, my excess ink. And this is what I have. I know it's hard to tell colors on camera, which may not seem very much, but I also do junk journals. This is a page from my junk journal. This one here is the start of another page. And I'll keep adding to it as I dye different things. And you don't have to worry about taking the heat gun to them because it's alcohol. As you can see, the blue's already dry. The pink's almost dry. And you don't get the heavily crinkled effect as you do with when you copy dye things. But I'm sure if I do the the walnut stain, I bet you it would come out looking like coffee dyed pink. That might be something to try. So now, and these are almost dry, just by sitting here. There is our purple we did. And here is our pink. And they're basically dry, just that quick. Maybe you can see them better through the background of the... I've got nice light colors that I can use. So all in all, just in a matter of minutes, I've got, well, the other three, it took me maybe, what, 5 minutes to do? Most of it was blotting up. I've got plenty of seam binding in the colors I need for these two albums. Now another thing you may want to try is on your closures. If you can catch it before, what do I do with my, instead of a closure like this, what I could have done was, I could have done one where you wrap the ribbon around it. Now that would have to be done before you put the inside cover on. And the way I found to do that is with these. This used to be a Q-tip thing. You know where you buy the Q-tips for traveling? You pull them out, you have the Q-tips in here. These are some buttons, but they have the shanks on them with the little cotter pins. And these are glitzy buttons, but they have a deep shank. I don't know if you can see that. See how long that shank is on that? And if you take your Crop-A-Dile, the hole puncher, you punch a hole where you want it to go, you can put that on there, the shank sticks out the other side, you put your cotter pin through underneath, and then put your inside cover on, and that will hold the cotter pin. Of course, a little bit of E6000 will help too. So that what it ends up looking like is something like this on the inside. And then you'll cover that with a piece of paper. When you do, that will cause that to raise up just enough to where you could come in, find the little piece here, and wrap that around. Well, if I get it, let's do it this way so it doesn't stick on that other one. Wrap it around as a closure. This is the other one that I did same way. You can wrap it around, and there you've got the closure to your album or journal or anything. Only thing is this one here tends to stick because of the prongs on the back. I may not want to use that one, that kind, but these work great. The buttons like this with the long shank, that works good too. These are great because they have that beveled edge, so you know that when you put that down, that's going to fit right under there beautifully. And see how pretty that would be with the ribbons. I've even found some that are hearts. What I found, if there's a smooth edge, they tend to work better. These, as we saw with this one, tend to snag a bit more, but they can still be used. You see, I still have the cotter pins in there with them. Some are metal, some come out as plastic, but if you're using them underneath your inside cover, they work just fine. Close that up. Oh, see, I got stuff everywhere. So next, what we're going to do, next video, is we're going to start working on the inside. So I really haven't decided yet what I'm going to do per page other than the ones I've already got done here. And I may want, maybe on the one that we're doing together, I may not want to do the flip on the front. But this is a demonstration of how we'll do different pages. as we go along, because this helps me work out my ideas before I totally make a mess of things on camera. So I hope you enjoyed today's part. Like I said, next one we'll start on the inside and follow along with me with making the albums. Let's see where we go with it. Who knows? Maybe it'll inspire you to try it yourself. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.